Hi, my name is Albert Delamora. I'm the test score technician for Los Angeles MEPS, and today I'm going to talk about the purpose of the testing section. By the time we get done with this presentation, you should have a better understanding of what it takes to test your applicant from the beginning to end. That way your applicant can have a very efficient day here at the MEPS. Purpose of the testing section. It is to oversee the administration of all the Armed Services Vocational Aptitude Battery and all special testing required of your service, thus identifying any applicants and all applicants who meet your established enlistment standards. Some of the sections we're going to cover today is a request for examination, authorization to test, retesting procedures, MEPSTesting testing, and testing schedules. The U.S. MEPCOM Form 683AE is the first document completed for any applicant for the Armed Forces. It is the most important document as it establishes the initial individual personal data in U.S. MERS. It is essential that the 680 be complete and correct and can be filled out in blue, black, or blue and black ink, and must be as legible as possible, and it requires the applicant's legal signature. Block 1 of the Form 680 requires the applicant's Social Security number. If the applicant does not have a Social Security number, the applicant cannot join any of the armed forces. Block number 2 requires the applicant's name as it is written on the Social Security card. Block 10 requires applicant's date of birth, and Block 15 requires applicant's place of birth. If the applicant has a resident alien card, also known as a green card or 9551 card, Block number 2, applicant name will match resident alien card. There are 2 names on this resident alien card. The applicant has to choose one of these names and must be reflected on the 680. Block 15D needs to specify the country of citizenship. Block 5F needs to have resident alien registration number. Without a resident alien registration number, the applicant cannot process. In Block 15, applicant's place of birth must be a country outside the United States. Whenever the applicant comes up to test, the testing section needs to know what the kit is here for. Therefore, Block 16, C, D, and E and F needs to be filled out accordingly. Block 25F needs to have the applicant's signature once the applicant has verified all information above his name is correct. If the applicant is coming to take a special test, Block 16C must be marked next to the word special. And Block 25F again needs to have the applicant's signature once the applicant has verified all information above his name is complete and correct. Blocks 26 and 27 of the 680 require the applicant's signature if the applicant has no insurance information. If the applicant does have insurance information, blocks 26 through 29 needs to be filled out complete. Block 30 requires the recruiter's signature and printed name after the recruiter has verified that all the information above his name is correct. Now let's talk about who can test. All non-prior service applicants that are 17 years of age or older can take a test at the MEPS or the MET site. Any prior service applicant coming to test at the MEPS requires a copy of the DD-214 or equivalent. Military personnel, whether they're active duty, National Guard or Reserve, can test at the MEPS after they have submitted a memorandum from the commander authorizing them to test at the MEPS. Military personnel who are changing components can also test at the MEPS. However, they will require to present a DD Form 368, also known as a conditional release, before they can test. Who cannot test? Applicants who are in the Service Delayed Entry Program, also known as a DEP. Service recruiters, whether they are military or civilian, and or liaisons, are not allowed to take the ASVAB or at the MEPS or any med site. Or an applicant who is disqualified and on a hold status due to a positive drug and alcohol test, also known as a DET. Let's talk about retesting procedures. First retest. An applicant who has taken the first test, whether student or enlistment, can retest after 1 calendar month has elapsed. For example, if the initial test was taken 1 February, first retest eligibility will be 1 March. If the applicant is eligible for a second retest on 1 April after the second retest, the applicant will be eligible to retest after 6 calendar months have elapsed. So it'll be initial test, 30 days later, and then 6 months after. Confirmation testing. If an applicant's most recent test is 20 points more than their previous test scores, and the test scores are within 6 months of each other, the applicant is required to take a confirmation test. All confirmation tests will be taken at the MEPS. No other processing is allowed until the confirmation test has been conducted. In order to take a confirmation test, The service liaisons need to submit a memorandum to the test control officer or the test score technician at least 24 hours in advance prior to the confirmation test date. Release of scores. Raw scores will only be released to applicants who provide an envelope. Official MedSite results will be released within 72 hours of the test date, not counting Saturday, Sunday, or weekdays or holidays. And no test scores will be released over the phone due to sensitivity with PII information. Let's talk about MedSite regulations. All recruiters conducting official business at the MedSite will be in uniform when dropping off and picking up applicants. Additionally, recruiters should remain at the MedSite until the test administrator has accepted their applicant. Recruiters are not allowed in the test room. If a recruiter walks into the test room, the test is compromised and all tests will have to be invalidated. In order to test at a MedSite, you need a complete and correct Form 680. Confirmation testing is not allowed at the MedSites. If your applicant has tested previously, ensure that the previous test versions are documented accurately in the 680, as the test administrators do not have access to this type of information. Military personnel, whether they're active or reservists, are not authorized to take a test at a MedSite. Testing schedules. If you have not seen the most current testing schedule, please get with your supervisor and or your service counselor so you can get an updated current testing schedule. MedSite tests and schedules. If you have not seen the most current MedSite test schedule, please get with your supervisor and or your service counselor to get the most updated electronic copy of the schedule. I've just discussed the purpose of the testing section, and you and your applicant should have a better understanding now of what it takes to process here at the MEPS. If you have any further questions, please look us up on Facebook and Twitter. Thank you.